Doctors won't tell you this, but the real reason you may not be losing weight could be because of your gut microbiome.
Yeah, they can't tell you because they probably don't know, right? It wouldn't be responsible for them to tell you that because they can't tell you that. In order to be able to see into the gut microbiome is quite invasive. Let's face it.
We noticed that 85.8% of you guys are not subscribed. So what are you doing? We give you guys free weight loss advice. And to the 14.2% that are subscribed, you guys are doing something right here. So thank you for all your support. We really appreciate it. But seriously, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below.
Right, what is the gut microbiome? It's in your belly. It's the large intestine. And how do you know it's off? Well, you've got bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, belly aches, all those things. The number one thing that people might not realize might be throwing their gut microbiome off are artificial sweeteners.
Oh my gosh, there was a lot of people might be confused because they've heard things about this. And they've heard a doctor debunk this and say, oh, well, there was a study done by Coca-Cola, wink, wink, by Coca-Cola. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. And he was like, oh, they debunked that rumor. And I'm like, are you, like, come on. Like, let's be real here for a second.
Well, science also shows that it can cause glucose intolerance.
But literally, Coca-Cola makes sugar-free drinks with artificial sweeteners. So how could you trust a study that's been done by a company that it benefits to put the outcomes as you can keep drinking this?
There's a lot of conflicts of interest in the FDA and the AMA and the NIH.
A lot. Like, you guys got to be careful what you watch.
If you're going to Starbucks and you're putting those pumps that are sugar-free, thinking you're helping yourself to lose weight, you actually might not be, because you're harming your gut microbiome, which could be keeping the weight on you, and it could be causing glucose intolerance ultimately. So those pumps, that's got aspartame in it, that's got artificial sweeteners in it. Those light yogurts that you get at the grocery store also oftentimes have aspartame in it because it'll dip the calories.
So you may be asking, what the heck am I supposed to eat instead?
Hold on, sugar candies as well also have the
sugar-free ones, like the Sweethearts now. There's a brand called Sweeties or something.
Yeah.
Lily's is good, actually. Lily's is good.
So Lily's has been a great thing for us. We have an Amazon store link that maybe we can provide.
I have it already.
Yeah, Lily's has stevia sweetened chocolate. There's some debate about stevia as well. Stevia is a plant. I have it in my garden. I can attest to that. So we also sometimes use monk fruit sweetener, but that's still not,
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can get it from, like, fruit, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the whole sweetener.
Yeah, Whole Foods. We're a big fan of Whole Foods.
Really, we are. Like, when we bake and cook, we like to use Whole Foods. Like, we just use pumpkin, we don't use canned pumpkin. So, anyway, that kind of goes into processed foods, too.
Yeah. We don't eat processed foods because we know processed foods can disrupt your gut microbiome.
And I also learned something, and tell me if this has to go in with it, but recently someone explained it really simply. They said, if you're eating a processed food or a processed ingredient or a processed snack, it's so much harder for your body to break down and like absorb all the nutrients because it takes so much more effort than if you were to just eat an avocado or just eat a potato. And I don't know if this has anything to do with the gut microbiome, but I'm pretty sure it does, right?
Sure, because your body has to recognize nutrients, and your body is designed to absorb nutrients from the environment, nature, not necessarily the grocery store, right? So things that grow in nature, that's what our body is designed to recognize. And when they are modified and denatured and put into chips or fast food or crackers or frozen meals or canned soup or the preservatives that keep your shelf life longer that's great for the businesses, but not so good for you, and especially not good for your gut microbiome. And one of the main things about processed foods is they lack fiber. And because processed foods lack fiber, because the fiber is taken out of it, then your gut microbiome is compromised, therefore. And there's a lot of chemicals, herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, and preservatives that, impact your gut microbiome and its health.
Alcohol is something, it's so interesting. You were telling me someone was on Ozempic and they're like, I'm losing all this weight and I'm drinking alcohol. And I was like, what?
Right. I met a woman at the airport. I was in Toronto and we had an unusually long layover, like an 8-hour layover that was supposed to be 4 hours. And I was trying to get into the lounge because I wanted to just rest, and I didn't have a pass or a first class ticket. So I'm going to the lounge to see like what the options are. And this girl's like, oh, you want to be my guest? I have an extra pass. And I was like, sure. So she's ordering a glass of wine. She's like, yeah, I've got 10 minutes. I got to get to my flight. So she orders a glass of wine and we get to talking. And she reveals to me that she's on Ozempic. And I'm like, wow, cannot believe this is real right now. And she's from Australia. So she buys Ozempic in Australia because it's half price. And she's drinking her wine and she's talking about like how much she loves to drink and how she eats like excessive amounts of, meat. And she put on like 40 pounds and she looked so skinny. I was admiring her. I'm like, wow, she looks great. And I was so shocked when she said she was on Ozempic. And I thought, well, and then she goes for a second glass of wine after like she downs the first one. And I'm like, wow, she's really going for it. And she's young and she's beautiful. And I was just shocked that she's, eating this horrible diet and losing tons of weight, because there are implications long-term of that kind of behavior. And that's something that Ozempic certainly isn't teaching her, that you would otherwise need to learn in order to get the weight off.
Also not really good for the gut microbiome. None of that. None of the things you just mentioned are good for the gut microbiome.
Right, exactly, yeah. Another thing that might be a little more obvious about our high fat and high sugar foods, not only are they highly addictive, but they're also really not good for your gut microbiome.
HPF, highly palatable foods.
Yes.
If you watched the previous video, you understand why I just emphasized that. So comment down below HPF if you saw the thing I said in the last video.
Oh, so high fat, high sugar foods are like pastries, donuts, candy bars, milkshakes, ice cream, things that we all love. And if you join our program, we teach you how to make all of those things very healthy. So don't think you can't have your cake and eat it too, because we teach you how in our program. It's just $47 a month. Get in on it before the new year. We only have a few spaces left. Women only.
Don't forget to comment the word natural down below if you want to learn more, or email us, or you can just buy our program in the link in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we can't wait to see you all the time.
We help women to beat obesity with our Step It Up system in just 90 days. Click the link in the description to learn how to lose weight without drugs like Ozempic.